Hi, my name is Dave. I'm your host. You're listening to The Last Podcast, where the first shall be last and the last shall be first. If this is your first time listening, welcome. I'm happy you found me. If you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you continue to find tips, ideas, and value from listening to this podcast. Today, I want to talk a little bit about humility. When was the last time you checked on your own humility? I mean, think about it. I know there is a lot of times we go about our day and, we're trying to be kind. We're trying to be nice to people. But when was the last time you actually thought about your humility toward others? And the reason why I was saying this, on the ride home, I was thinking about that. I was like, when's the last time I checked on my own humility? And I know that I am humble in most of the situations because, let me tell you, somebody was telling me this. They were like, you know what I like about you? You're humble. I mean, I noticed there's a lot of things that you can do well, but you're real humble. If a person didn't know you, they wouldn't know you're capable of doing all the things that you're capable of doing. Your humility is, I think, often misunderstood as a weakness, yet it's one of the most powerful virtues a person can cultivate. True humility is not about thinking less of yourself, but about thinking of yourself less. I hope you got that. It is the ability to recognize that you are part of something greater, to learn from others, and to serve without seeking recognition. Humility. When's the last time you checked? So there was this humble master, right? Once in a small village, there was an old guy there. He was like this martial arts master named Hiroshi. Now, many students came from distant lands to train under him, hoping to learn the secrets of his incredible skill. One day, a young warrior named Ken arrived, eager to prove his strength. Master Hiroshi, Ken said, I have trained for many years and defeated many opponents. I've come to challenge you, Ken declared boldly to Hiroshi. Hiroshi smiled and simply said, before we fight, would you help me carry this water to the village well? And Ken scoffed at him. I did not come here to carry water. I came to fight, man. Hiroshi nodded and sat quietly. Then, you are not ready to learn, he said. Days passed. Ken watched as Hiroshi humbly served his village, helping elders, feeding the poor, and training students with patience. Eventually, Ken understood the lesson. True strength lies in humility and service. When Ken finally accepted the task of carrying the water, Hiroshi smiled. Now you're ready to learn. And only then did he begin to teach Ken the true art of mastering. Now, I share that story for one simple purpose, to illustrate humility is not about our strength. It's about the inner value of our strength. It's about the courage and cultivating a kindness within us that gives us true power. So why does humility matter? I know you're wondering. It opens doors to growth. When we admit that we don't know everything, we open the doors to ourselves, to learning and improving and doing all these good things, not just for others, but mainly for ourselves, our internal strength. Humility allows us to listen, to understand, and empathize with others, making our relationships deeper and more meaningful. So I want you to think about that. When you're thinking about listening to somebody, and let me tell you something, I had to learn this. This was humility for me to learn. And people who are married, sometimes we don't want to listen to the wife. Sometimes we don't want to listen to the husband. But we have to show not only the respect, but we have to have that humility that allows us to let me relax. Let me listen to your side of the story. Let me have humility with understanding. Let me empathize. That humility will also give us peace. I believe pride kind of creates a stress and competition with humility, and humility fosters contentment and gratitude. With pride, what does pride do? Pride just creates havoc, right? Well, humility, I think a great leader, if you are a leader and if you want to be a leader, I think you have to cultivate humility. You have to lead with humility. But you know something? Before you can lead with humility, you have to learn how to follow with humility, because humility helps you, inspires trust and respect rather than commanding through arrogance. So when was the last time you checked on your own humility? Yeah, it's probably been a while. I know. So I'm just going to give you a few ideas of something that you can do to check on your own humility, to check and see where you personally stand. It's not something that you got to sit there and tell people about, but it give you some ideas where you stand with your own humility and how you've been treating others, because sometimes we're just looking out and this is the way we've been. This is the way we've been acting. And we may not see it, but somebody from the outside looking in can see, well, that person has a lot of humility, or that person is arrogant, or that person is conceited, so on and so forth. You get it. You understand the picture. I believe we first must learn to listen to others. And I'm not talking about when you're arguing or whatever the case may be. And sometimes that might be a good thing to do, is listen as well. I've learned. I've been married for 26 years. And yes, me and my wife had arguments. And I've learned to sit back and just listen. And not just because I want to see her point of view. I might be seriously missing something, because I'm in my own head with my own thoughts, with my own actions. And I might literally forget what this whole conversation was about. Anybody who knows me knows that's true. You know, what are we even arguing about? But I want to have humility and give her that respect. And I think it's powerful. I think when you allow another person in that situation, if you're arguing, if you allow them to, even if you're on the phone with somebody, like customer service, you got to let them vent. You got to listen with humility. You got to be empathetic. So what does having humility mean? What can you do? You can admit when you're wrong. That's part of having humility. And you can learn from your errors instead of defending them. When's the last time you were wrong and you automatically went in defense mode? Part of alleviating that is having a little more humility. Do something kind for something or someone without seeking credit or validation. Recognizing and the contribution of others helps keep arrogance in check. You ever thought about that? Ask others for their perspective on your actions and be willing to improve. So you have to be asking these questions, right? With humility, with an open mind. You have to be ready to say, I need to make a change. Maybe I have been doing something outside of having a little more humility. Maybe I've been arrogant. So ask for others for feedback. That's another way. Do you think I'm humble? Or and you know what? Someone you love, someone who's a friend, they'll tell you in a heartbeat whether you're humble or arrogant. They'll tell you in a heartbeat. But I believe there's room to grow in humility. I believe it's room to become a better person with humility. So value truth over ego by being open to different viewpoints. Humility is a lifelong practice. It's not something that you can wake up in the morning and say, I have humility. It's a lifelong practice that leads to wisdom, stronger connections, and more fulfilling life. Like Hiroshi, we can all strive to lead not by dominance, but by service and understanding. The true mark of greatness is not in how high we stand, but how deeply we bow to lift others. I hope that this was a good food for thought for you. What will your steps be to take in humility? Hey, listen, my name is Dave. You're listening to the last podcast. I have a few worksheets, and it's all free. I'm not asking for any money, but I have worksheets that you'll be blown away. Ask yourself a bunch of questions about your own humility. If you want to learn or have a deeper understanding about yourself and about your own humility, do me a favor. Hit me up at the last podcast 443@gmail.com, and I'll send you this. I think it's about 10 pages of information and worksheets where you can fill out on your own time. It's about 9 pages, and you can practice humility and you can put your own humility in check. Hey, listen, my name is Dave. I hope that your day is a good day, and I know tomorrow will be a better day for you. Do me a favor and like this podcast, and also subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. I have content that's going to be getting better and better, and all I want for you to do is become your best version of yourself ever. So, hey, listen, we can do it together. Subscribe, like, and have a blessed day. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.